Hello fifth graders, today we're going to review place value, and as you noticed in slide 3 I asked you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil, so if you didn't get a piece of paper or a pencil, go ahead and pause the video right now. Okay, so what I want you to do is start on the left side of your paper and let's draw 7 dashes, make them pretty big and space them a little bit apart. But I also want you to leave some space on the right side. Then what I want you to do is count 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. On this last dash, I want you to go ahead and put a 1. That's going to represent our ones column, so go ahead and write that. Now this part you don't need to write, but let's remember that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you had 10 ones, you would trade that in for a stick or a rod, and that became a 10 for the tens column. Now let's say we had more than one 10. Let's put a 3 on the dash. Go ahead and write that. That means that we have 3 tens. Well, the digit in the tens place is 3, but that's not its value. Its value is 30 because 10, 20, 30. In the ones column, that digit is 1 and its value is also 1. So there's a difference between digit and value. And just like the ones column, when you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, when you had 10 tens, you traded that in for a flat. And that flat was the hundreds column. So 10 tens equaled 100. But let's say I put the digit 2 in there. Well, that means I have 2 hundreds. So the digit in the hundreds column is 2, but its value is 200. Then if I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I had 10 flats or 10 hundreds, I would trade that in for a cube, and that cube was the thousands. So let's say I had 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Well, the digit in the thousands column is 3, but its value is 3,000. And that's really what I want to focus today. But I do want to tell you that this place value is called the 10,000s place. So if I had a digit or a number like 4, the digit is 4, but its value is 40,000. So 10,000s, this is the 100,000s. So if I had a number like 2, the digit in the 100,000s place is 2, but its value is 200,000. And the one everybody loves in 5th grade, this is the millions. So remember, if I put a digit like 1 there, the digit is 1, but its value is 1 million. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this so that we can focus on the right side of the chart. So I want you to go ahead and put a decimal point here and 3 dashes. Now we're going to talk about the numbers that are less than 1. So let's go ahead and put a 1 on this dash. Now this place value is called the tenths with a TH. And it's very similar to the tens, but it's tenths with the TH. And the reason that is because this is 1/10 the value of the ones place. Now what does that mean? Well, if we gather 10 tenths, you don't have to write this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tenths. The only way we can get to 1 is if we have 10 tenths. Well, right now we only have 1/10. So that's a very small number, but it takes 10 tenths to get to 1. Let's talk about this place value. This is called the hundredths with a TH. It's very similar to the hundreds, but this is the hundredths with the TH. This value is even smaller. It takes 100 hundredths to get to 1. So if I were to put a 4 here, that would mean 4 out of 100. So that number is really small. And the last place value we're going to focus on is the thousandths with a TH. Again, it sounds like the thousands, but it's the thousandths. This number is really small. It takes 1,000 thousandths to get to 1. So if I were to put a 3 here, that would be 3 out of 1,000. So you can see I'm a long way away from 1 because I need 1,000 thousandths to get to 1. Now let's focus on expanded and word form. So I'm going to erase this part so we can have a little room to work. And I'm going to go ahead and erase these numbers as well, because I really want to focus on the thousands to the thousandths place. So right now, if I were to read this number, I would say 3,231. And then I see this decimal point. Every time I see that decimal point, I think and. So 3,231, and then I just say this number, 143 thousandths. So that's how I would write it. This number in written form, you don't have to write this, is 3,231 and 143 thousandths. 3,231 and 143 thousandths. So that is written form. We would call this standard form. I'm going to write it over here just so you can see it. This is 3,231 and 143 thousandths. That would be standard form, the normal way we see the number. Now let's talk about expanded form. Well, expanded form just means take the value and add them all together. So that's what we're going to do. The first one is 3,000. And we're going to add that to 200. And we're going to add that to 30 and 1. And then we're going to take the 10th and the 4 hundredths, so that's 4 hundredths, and then 3 thousandths. Now that's one way to write it in expanded form, but you're going to learn an even fancier way. So I have the digit 3, and it's in the thousandths spot. So the way I got that was I multiplied it by 1,000. So that's 3 times 1,000. The 2 is the digit in the hundred spot. So that's 2 times 100. The 3 is in the tens spot. So that's 3 times 10, because that's what gets me 30. The 1 is in the 1 spot. So that's 1 times 1. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. The 1 is in the 10th spot. So I'm going to multiply it times a 10th. The 4 is in the hundredths spot. So that's 4 times 100, because 4 times 100 will get me 4 hundredths. And then the last one is 3, because the 3 is in the thousandths spot. So I'm multiplying 3 times 1,000, because 3 times 1,000 is 3 thousandths. Now, slide 4 is going to take you through a little more about the decimal place value and use visual manipulatives that you're used to. So watch that video on slide 4.